I struggled a lot mentally. Specifically my sophomore year, I tried to take my life 3 separate times. Thank God I was unsuccessful, but in those moments I really didn't feel like I had anyone.
She had told somebody that she was cutting herself. She was needing help, and that was her way of saying she needs help.
Jack was on a medication for his ADHD that was not right for him. It was making his anxiety so much worse, and one day he tried to jump out the window and kill himself.
Being brave when you're having suicidal ideations isn't shoving it down. It isn't just being forced, like, keep yourself alive. Being brave is reaching out and telling people you're hurting and that you're struggling and you need help.
In a crisis, the timing is detrimental. When we moved here, I spent close to 6 months calling and leaving messages, trying to find anybody.
So that became a 3-year journey to get him on the right medication and to figure out what it was that can actually help him to thrive. During that process, I made dozens and dozens of phone calls, called TRICARE, that's our insurance company. I had them calling, I had my doctor calling.
I luckily reached out to her counselor so that way the school was on board.
He was still having behavioral issues, and I mentioned my struggle, and one of the counselors said, could I put you in touch with Care Solace?
And I'm like, okay, what's Care Solace?
She would do the research, and then we would call those doctors together and try to make an appointment. And she said, we're gonna keep this up until we get an appointment.
It worked. We got approved. You did it. Thank you so much. I was so happy.
Care Solace, to me, represents hope. We know he's an exceptional kid. We just needed that help to get him in a place that he could calm his mind, calm his brain, and excel.
The speed of everything that happened from the first contact to our first appointment being in only a week was phenomenal. I think I even cried on the phone with Jill when she told me. And I knew going in that she was a first responder trauma therapist. She could help with the feelings and the emotions of suicide and it not just be from mom's mouth.
There are so many kids that if you ask them how they're doing, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing so good, even if it's not true. If they're struggling every day to just be alive, they're not gonna tell you that. And so I think the anonymous part is such a huge thing, and also just the ease of getting help through Care Solace.
Wherever it is broken, it needs to come together and have these support systems for these children because one life is way too many.
There are so many people, so many parents who are struggling with feeling lost and out of control and not knowing what they can do for their children. I was there. I was in the middle of that in one of the hardest times of my life. And Care Solace came in like this fight. It was like, let's do this. We're gonna get this done. We're gonna do this until we get the results we need. And that, for somebody who's feeling like you're kind of alone and on an island trying to, save your child, means a lot. They're just gonna be